So going back to Insert New, this time I'm going to select Figure of Merit and click Insert. I'm going to apply this to my coverage definition and hit Close. So I can see that this is just telling me, yes, it has access to a particular region defined by the center of that grid location. So it's essentially a yes or no, has this been satisfied. To get finer detail about this, I can actually increase my point granularity of my coverage definition and just change that to, it's currently set to 6, so I'll change that to 2 degrees and hit apply. And then I'll just recompute this as well so that I have some finer grid. So now I can see how my aircraft path goes over the US and where I have access to it, and whether or not it has coverage has been met. So now I can see the quality of the data from the Figure of Merit. I can take a look at those properties as well. I can see that I'm set to a simple coverage. I can also enable satisfaction and see when those results would be satisfied. Also underneath the animation tab, I can just show off the show animation graphics, which are defaulted to be on. So if I want to look at the results of my data, I can go to the Reporting Graph Manager, and I've disabled the show graphs, so I'm only looking at reports, and I can generate a % satisfied report. So if I scroll down to the bottom, I can see that I have a % satisfaction of 58.15% and the area that is included in that. So currently I'm seeing my results visually as just a static visualization. If I wanted to animate it and see how it occurs over time, I could go back to my 2D graphics, animation, turn on my show animation option, and then underneath static, just disable the show static graphics. So then I can hit apply. And then once again, I want to go back to my animation tab, and I want to show my accumulation up to a current time and hit apply. Okay, so now I'm just going to watch my aircraft as it flies over. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So I'm going to hit play. My aircraft's flying a little slowly, so first let me zoom in on an area. First let me zoom into my United States so that I'm focused in on it, and then also increase the time steps. So I can see in white, that's when my satisfaction is enabled, and I can watch it over the entire aircraft's route. So this is one Figure of Merit style. So there are many Figure of Merit types. I can choose any of them from the drop-down, and then each of these has its own detail of properties and parameters that can be changed, and may be more specific to any other combination of assets and regions. I'll go back to simple from what I was running, just to make sure I didn't change anything. I'm going to hit cancel. And another option that I can do is if I go to my Figure of Merit and then Figure of Merit Grid Inspector, I can select different pieces of my grid and my 2D graphics and get additional information about it. So the value of the simple coverage and the area of that piece as well. And I can do the same for any point throughout the map.